So let's continue with prophecy. I just couldn't go by those verses. Prophecy is the acid test of deity. Look at 44. Thus says the Lord, verse 6, the King of Israel and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. Wait a minute. Do we have two gods going there? Did you catch that? Thus says the Lord, the King of Israel. That the Lord, that's Jehovah. And his Redeemer? Who's that? You know. Who is the second person of the Trinity? God the Son. See, this section of Isaiah is full not only of prophecy, but of Trinity verses. I am the first, I am the last. What did Jesus say when he introduced himself in Revelation chapter 1? The one who speaks to you is the first and the last. See, while you're reading Isaiah, these things should jump out at you. You're seeing the greatest deposit of verses about the deity of Christ and the Trinity, the triunity of God, that's anywhere in the Bible. Okay, back to verse 7. And who can proclaim as I do? Let him declare and set it in order. Since I appointed the ancient people. Do you remember I told you that way back in Genesis 10, God gives us the table of nations? And do you know what Paul tells us in Acts 17? Here, I'll show you. Instead of just saying it, it's exactly what he's saying here. In Acts 17, when Paul is preaching, he said that God has appointed the places where all the nations will live. He has made, this is Acts 17:26, he has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on the face of the earth. Are there three races? You ever heard that there's three races, you know? There's not three races, there's one race, the human race. How do we know? God says he made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on the face of the earth. We're all descendants of Noah who are descendants of Adam. But look at this. He has determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwellings. Acts 17:28. God, in his word, told to us both in Genesis and Acts, as it says right here in chapter 44, verse 6, I appointed, verse 7, the ancient people, where they lived, when they would reign. Do you remember yesterday I had all those Edomites and Moabites and Philistines and people of Tyre and people of Assyria and people of Babylon? Do you remember that? The big list that God said, you're ruling the world at this moment, but you're going to be gone soon. How did he know that? Because God, the acid test of deity is, only God can say the things that are coming and shall come. Verse 7, only God knows that. And verse 8, there's no God beside me. So prophecy is thirdly the acid test of deity.